Everybody talking about Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift Eras Tours.
Taylor Swift's merch truck.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift makes history again.
You guys, I had one of the most epic weekends of my entire life. Yes, it had to do with Taylor Swift. It also has to do with cameras and airplanes, and I want to tell you all about it. I've been obsessing about this tour not only because it looks visually stunning and Taylor's an incredible performer, but also just due to how impactful this tour is across the world, music, and the economy. I mean, I literally just read an article the other day that Taylor Swift is single-handedly increasing the US economy, which is insane. Now, as a live music photographer, I typically only get to experience these events as a live music photographer, just doing that photography. And I actually had the chance to photograph some stuff for Taylor back at the 2019 Billboard Music Awards. That's me almost stepping on BTS. But this time around, I just get to experience it as a fan with a camera. Taylor's doing this really cool thing where she's actually allowing you to bring in compact digital camera into her shows to photograph the event from your seat, which is an awesome opportunity for millions of fans and myself and other photographers to document an experience and an event that will go down as probably one of the greatest tours of all time. But there's one issue. Me and my fiance got last minute tickets to see Taylor Swift in Seattle, and we are currently in Los Angeles, California, which means somehow we have to get up to Seattle to watch Taylor perform. When looking at prices for hotels and booking, it's absolutely outrageous. It's like $1,000 a night. I actually just read the other night that Chicago had the greatest hotel sales of all time just because of Taylor's tour. So we kind of had to come up with a plan. If we could somehow get a plane ticket to Seattle, book a rental car, drive to the stadium in time to make it for Taylor's set, while also trying to get my compact digital camera into the show without any issues, it'd be a miracle. So we looked online and we booked the first flight from LAX up to SeaTac. We packed our one bag and we drove out to the LAX airport. Please like, comment, subscribe. We arrived at LAX probably an hour before our flight, and we made it through the airport, pretty much just a normal airport day. When heading to our gate, we actually ran into someone who was also going to the Taylor Swift show, which I thought was pretty funny. I had no idea that people were like flocking from around the country to go to these concerts. Finally taking off, and we are caffeinated up here at 30,000 feet, leaving LAX, heading to Seattle. It was really surreal flying past Mount Hood. This is like my home mountain, and I kind of like grew up here, so to fly past that to go to Seattle was really interesting. We landed in Seattle probably 2 hours after we took off from LAX, and we went straight to our rental car, straight from the airport to Lumen Field, and we actually did not make it in time for the opener. Unfortunately, we missed the opener, but it really is. We did make it.
There's so many people.
It's kind of overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. Hey. We just got to Taylor Swift and we found a parking spot right outside of the arena. We got
Jacob called the Washington State parking
to make sure that we're okay to park here. Gonna hopefully get into the show. So here's another catch to the story. We got our tickets to see Taylor through a friend of mine, but the only way to get those tickets was to physically show up at Lumen Field, hoping that the tickets would be at will call. And if anything went wrong, we were completely out of luck and we wouldn't be able to see the show. So this was the moment of truth, getting the tickets. Did we book these flights for absolutely nothing, or will we be able to see Taylor Swift live in concert at the Eras Tour? And success, tickets are acquired. It's pretty crazy that we flew all the way up to Seattle not knowing if we had tickets for sure or not, but very thankful it worked out. First things first, we got some food and a couple drinks. First photos that I took while we were up in Seattle, and this sweet individual gave me and Steph our first Taylor bracelets. Mine says Gorgeous and Steph says Karma. And I still have those. These photos just kind of showcase everyone's dressed up and excited and so happy to be there. And I really think the energy is something special and everyone should experience at least once. I got my camera in, thankfully, and we got there just in time to see Haim perform some of their songs. I really like the photos that I got from here. It was like a beautiful golden hour during their set, so that was really exciting to document that, and I think these photos came out really good. And then it was time, the countdown came up on the screen, and it was time for us to wait for Taylor to come out and perform. The countdown happened, and just a quick update, there will be spoilers here, so if you don't want to spoil the show for yourself, don't watch the rest of this. But the intro to the show is absolutely beautiful. As a photographer and creative, I thought it was so cool to document this like very unique, intimate experience that Taylor has put together for her fans and for the crowd, and it was just really exciting to watch that happen and unfold in real time right in front of me. Everyone's outfits were also so cool and so easy to photograph. For example, just people walking up and down the stairs. I asked to take a picture of this girl's jacket because she custom painted it, which was really amazing. And then this custom like cloud outfit that this girl had going on. I don't know all the correct lingo, so Swifties, please don't get too mad at me, but I thought it was really impressive. Also, we got these really cool bracelets that interact with the crowd and the lighting. And stick around because those come into play later. As the sun started to set, the photos inside got really good. I really like the lighting of these photos. These in particular of this girl's hand up in the air with 13 on it. Probably couple of my favorite photos that I took the entire night. It just kind of showcases the energy and the excitement and the outfits and everything in just 1 or 2 photos. I really like how once the sun set, you really started to get a feel of the production and the lights and the energy that the show had to offer and what we were kind of in store for the rest of the night. This one photo of Taylor in particular walking down the thrust right there is one of my favorites from the night. I think it was one of the best photos that I got personally. I obviously couldn't shoot her too close up because I had a point and shoot camera. So this was kind of the best that I could get with what I had, but I really like how this photo turned out. So all of these photos so far have just been from my seat, and I thought I wanted to make these a little bit different and make them stand out a little bit more by manipulating them and flipping the images. I did it to these 2 photos in particular, and I thought it really matched the witchy vibe that Taylor had going on for this part of the set. Once I got done shooting this, I did have to go to the bathroom, so I actually decided to maybe take some photos while I went to the bathroom. So walking around the venue was one of my favorite parts of the entire night. Documenting the outfits again and the energy and the excitement. It was just something that I haven't ever seen, even at like some of the biggest concerts I've been to. So going through and seeing the show from a different angle before going to the bathroom was like one of the best parts of the night, if I'm being honest. As far as wide angle photos go from this set, I think this is by far my favorite photo. Something about Taylor's positioning as well as like the orange lighting. I always am super attracted to orange lights during concerts. For some reason, I like editing that color photo. I really like how this one turned out. It's probably my favorite wide photo from the whole night. Also, these follow up close behind it. I think seeing the show from another angle was also really special. Remember those bracelets I was talking about earlier in the video? Well, once this part of the set started, my mind started to just melt. Essentially, the bracelets were interacting with the entire crowd and adding like a 4th dimension to the production of this show. And I've heard about this happening before, but not at this level, like at a stadium. It was absolutely insane. As far as fan photos go, this purple one is definitely by far my favorite from the entire night. I think it just showcases, again, the energy and the excitement of the crowd. Her hand up in the air with the actual bracelet lighting up, and then you can see the bracelets in the background lighting up, as well as the production in the background. It's just kind of one of those concert photos that stands out and makes you go like, wow, I really want to be there. I also really like these ones. Just again, the fans are so special at these Taylor shows. They're just so into it and so happy to be there, and it just makes for a great experience and great photographs. These last couple photos of Taylor are a couple of my favorites. I think it was really cool that the colors and the vibe of the show changed so dramatically depending on what era we were listening to from Taylor's discography. We did have to leave the venue a little bit early just to try to beat traffic to drive all the way down to Portland, but I just want to point out that there was probably about 10,000 people standing outside of Lumen Field just listening. There was no screens, no monitors, just a crowd of people listening to Taylor sing, and to have a audience or a fan base that dedicated is really special, and Taylor's obviously doing something right. So an amazing show, 10 out of 10, would go back for sure. I want to make it very clear, I did not photograph this tour. I'm not saying that I photographed for Taylor Swift. I am just a fan that got to bring my camera to a concert and document my experience. And I think that's really cool that Taylor allows that at her shows. I think it's very underrated to allow cameras at a concert because people should be able to document their experience. They paid for a ticket, get to experience the feelings and all the feels, and then go back and relook at those things. And personally, I rather look back at really good photos on my digital camera rather than just photos from my phone. So with that being said, I do want to give a shout out to Taylor's team for allowing in point and shoot cameras. I think it's really cool, and it gives a lot of people a different opportunity to document probably the best night of their entire life. I am personally super thankful that I got to experience this show live in person. It's absolutely more than just a show. It's a complete cultural phenomenon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate all the support, and thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.